Hey, how you doing today? I am Tequila Coleman. In today's video, I want to talk about a question that was sent to me yesterday in my email. And this is not the first time, someone asked me this question, but I do want to talk about it in case there's other people who also, might have this question. You might even just be wondering, like, why would God choose a spouse for me, with all these ungodly characteristics, right? So let's talk about it. So when God reveals to you who your God ordained, spouse is, in that moment when God is revealing that person to you, that's all it is in that moment. It's just a revealing, right? We are the ones who go before God. We are the ones who get excited when God say that's your spouse, and then we begin to like try to move things forward when that's not what God said. All God said in that moment was, this is your spouse, okay? And when God speaks, God is already in the future. Okay. So if God was to tell you today that this is your spouse, God is already in 2023. He already see your spouse restored in their right mind with a changed heart, a new heart. He see, the God ordained future husband as a loving husband, a faithful man, right? He see that, right? He see the God ordained future wives as a wife who is respectful to her husband, who is submissive, right? So God is already in our future, okay? So when God say and tells you that this particular person is your spouse, number one, God, he never chooses a prodigal. Prodigal is the work of the enemy. Prodigal comes about whenever this particular person reject God, right? It reject their heavenly Father. It reject God's ways. It reject God's rules and standards, right? And as a result of it, this person, this individual now becomes a prodigal, right? So God doesn't choose the prodigal. Okay. This is also why God, after he reveals to us who our spouses are, and once they've been given over to that reprobate mind, they come up under God's wrath. This is also why God would come in and create a divine separation, because he is protecting you from the prodigal, from the enemy. Okay, which is also should communicate to you that this isn't who God is choosing for me in this moment, right? Because the two of you are not walking on one accord. The Bible says, can two walk together except they agree? The Bible also say, do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. A prodigal is an unbeliever. So again, this is why God steps in and create divine separation from the prodigal, because he's trying to tell you he's not ready. He or she is not ready yet. They are a prodigal. This not the version of your spouse I chosen for you, daughter or son, right? So he creates that divine separation, okay? So just understand, when God reveals to you who your spouse is, and you later discern that this person has a lot of hurt and pain in their heart, they're very prideful or selfish, or may even be operating in witchcraft, understand that's not the version of your spouse who God has chosen for you. We serve a all loving God. We serve a God who has your best interest at heart. He know what your heart desires are, because he is the one who gave you those desires, okay, of your heart. He placed those desires in your heart. That desire you have for true love, God placed it in your heart, and that's exactly what God is going to give you in your spouse, okay? So understand that God didn't choose the prodigal. The prodigal is the work of the enemy, and we are in a season where God is taking back his marriages. He is getting his house in order. He is getting his children in order, right? And this is why we see a lot of prodigals manifesting, because God is dealing with, okay, his children. He's getting his house in order, and he's taking back his marriages, okay? So I just wanted to, record this video just to let you know God doesn't choose. He didn't choose the prodigal. Okay. When God tells you that's your spouse, all it is in that moment is a revealing. We got to wait for God's next instruction. Okay. So that is it. I am Tequila Coleman. I'll talk to you all real soon. Take care.